Good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock Central Time, or 1 o'clock for everybody who hasn't moved their clock around yet. So, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a pretty good week. It's nice to see the beginning of spring, and people are out there, and everybody's got something to sell. And not too many people buying anything yet, but I've managed to get a couple of good things this week. Things have gone pretty good. Let's see. Let me show you what I've got so far this week. Your screen, window, entire screen. There you go. I picked this up on Monday or Tuesday, and she's pretty good. She sat for a long time, and the gas was bright red. It was just red as red gets. And I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, but after our do-over on the carburetor, which I pulled off a machine I picked up a week earlier, and cleaning out the gas tank and getting the sludge out of it, there wasn't any rust or anything in it. Somehow the gas just didn't rust up the tank on this one. So I got off pretty lucky. What else we got? My ad that I put out, it's sort of funny. One of the things I mentioned is I'll consider anything with a spark plug. And then somebody called me with this. And if you notice, if you look carefully at it, this one made me laugh because there's no spark plug. But nonetheless, he only wanted $10 for it, so I bought it. And this I just picked up last night. I actually just finished the video for it. All it needed was the standard issue carburetor work. It's a push mower. He said it was self-propelled when he called me, but it's not. It's a push. So what are you going to do? I wasn't going to walk away from it. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Let's see, what else did we get? This was a package with 3 separate things in it. It had 3 things in it. He was asking $60, and he had these 2 blowers, and you'll note the red one's missing a carburetor. The Makita is turned around the wrong way, or you'd see that it's also missing a pull start. So, but they came with this also, and he was only asking $60. And I don't know what kind of shape the motor's in, but I know I can buy a whole new motor if I have to for about $50 or $60 for this thing. So I said, yeah, I'll buy it. Why not? That'll make a fun video. And off we go. That's the end of that. So I hope you guys have had as good a week as I have. I always look at it as a week that I get good stuff for videos is a good week. That's a week that I enjoy. And this week I picked up, well, 4 or 5 things that I'm sure we'll be seeing on a future. So who have we got playing with us today? I see Wayne's here. Wayne was here a little while ago. It was 1 o'clock. It was 2 hours, an hour ago, I guess, when Wayne came through. He beat me to the draw by about a mile on this one. Because everybody forgets the clock change, and I think his clock changed for 2 hours. His didn't change for 1. Maybe that's a Canada thing. I don't know. I see Adam's here. Hey, Adam. So you going to come up today, Adam? I sent out the link, and feel free. Come on up. Hey, Adam. How you doing today? And feel free. Come on up. Oh, you're echoing.
Give me a minute.
No worries. No worries.
It's because I've got you on telly. I've got telly on tablet on and fucking phone on.
Believe me, I sit down here about 20 minutes before it's time and start pushing buttons and stacking things and getting everything ready to go. And every time I'm sure I miss something.
So
But it's like the little banners that go across the bottom, my little comedy banners. It takes a minute to get those all set up, you know?
how's your week been then?
My week has been magnificent. I've been really lucky buying stuff. And that's what I was just showing a moment ago. Picked up one of the little 40cc dirt bikes, which I couldn't turn down. He wanted $60 for the 2 blowers and the dirt bike. And none of them looked promising, but I wanted them. So I said, yeah, why not? You know?
What
In my
blowers
mind,
worth?
Sorry?
What blowers worth? Sell.
To sell, I'll probably get 50 or $60 for them tops because they're not beautiful. The one's a Makita, and a Makita blower will sell super fast, but you won't get a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
But there are guys that swear by them.
Yeah. I'm saying with Makita tools.
I notice a lot of people in the UK are big on Makita also. Mm-hmm. Here, it's a popular brand, and people either love them or hate them.
Yeah.
So, what you been up to this week, Adam?
Well, I've done some bit more on that mower. It's been painted. It's all engines back on it. I'm just waiting for a exhaust gasket. And I went up to see my dad because he's come out of hospital and gone into intermediate care today. So that's all positive. Like so, what else did I do? That's about it, really. And then just stuff for my holiday because I've got an holiday coming up.
Norge is asking, which is a popular brand? A popular brand for, we were discussing blowers. I actually ended up with a Makita blower, which is really off the wall here for blowers, but they're really big for other tools. And it's not battery.
I nearly end up emailing you. I had trouble trying to find a gasket for a Quantum engine, exhaust gasket for a Quantum
Really?
engine. No trouble. I'm sat there. I'm thinking, couldn't source one.
You would think
Amazon.
that's a standard issue shop thing because that's a
Yeah,
common motor.
No. Anyway, I've sourced one. Coming Wednesday.
Oh, see, you found one someplace?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm pretty lucky. I live in, right outside of Dallas, and it's this sort of a world headquarters for Amazon. We've got these unbelievably large warehouses all
Yeah.
over the place. Imagine, imagine. I guess I was going to say the Fair Queen's Castle, but I suppose it's the Fair King's Castle now.
Yeah.
Imagine 25 times that size, and it's one building, and they've got 4 buildings all together that size.
Yeah.
And then imagine you've got 15 different campuses with buildings like that, all within 25 miles of you.
That's a lot of stock in it.
It's just, they're unbelievably large, but the nice part is whenever I need a part, I'll be ordering at say 9:30 in the morning. I'll pull something apart and say, the screws are broken or whatever. I need a carburetor or I need a gasket. I'll jump on Amazon and they'll say, do you want to pay the extra $2.99 and have it delivered before 3:00? And I'm looking, it's like, that's 4 hours from now. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Depends on how much of a hurry I'm in,
Yeah. That's the only thing with your country and our country. There's some stuff you've got more, obviously, as you know, more land, more space, bigger companies, and stuff like this. You've got like part shops all over. I know in UK there's I'm not going to say very few, but there's not as half as many as what you've got. So getting some stuff, something simple like say, an exhaust gasket. I thought I'll go online. You'll be able to pick up anywhere. No, it's been some right hassle.
Yeah, Mark's saying, do I know Ken's on? Yeah, about a week after I started this one, Ken decided to put his right on top of it. So, but that's okay. That's how he is, and I can't let it bother me. That's the nature of the animal there, so I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
What, Ken's online?
Yeah.
What, doing a live?
Yeah.
Oh, you're joking.
I know. It's like a week or two after I started this one, he put one right on top of me in the same spot. But I'm not a real big fan of Ken, and that's another story we don't need to get into, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me,
It's like, I think it's not, it's like it's like being in a social situation, a pub. There's people you're gonna like in them, people you're not, and people you get on with, and people you don't. It's just life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It really is. And and the way I look at it, it's like, of 8 billion people in the world, I can only think of 2 or 3 that I'm not fond of. So I'm living a pretty good life,
I mean, it's like I won Conker's stream last night, and it was too busy for me, so I just went. There was too much going on. And sometimes,
I came in and I felt bad, but I came in late and then had to leave early because my parts came in for that little edger.
Yeah.
And I was sort of hot and heavy to get that one out, get it done, because when they're not done, they're in the middle of everything. When they're done, I can stack them up nice and neat in the corner,
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So.
Yes, I felt bad for Phil that I bailed out on him so early.
But like I said, sometimes it can get a bit too much for for me it can, but I mean, you can get. I've noticed in some live chats you can get that busy that anybody was trying to talk, you can miss what they're saying in chat. If you know what I mean.
Nor just saying now has me interested in why I'm not a fan. Well, we've got different senses of humor, and he sort of touched on a hot button for me, and you know how that works.
Yeah.
And that's about it. We've just got different senses of humor, and it doesn't work for me. So I went my way, and he went his way, and all is good. Now, of course, with his nature of the beast, he's going to put his life right where I'm doing mine. But yeah, if that's the worst thing that happens to me today, I'm having a great day. You know.
Well, yeah. But like you say, it's no disrespect to Ken, because I like Ken, but he's got the viewers. You've only just started getting the viewers, if you know what I mean, to get monetized.
Yeah, I am monetized.
That's it.
Yeah.
You've only just happened, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's true. It's 2 weeks ago I wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And now I'm pushing in. I'm getting about 10 subscribers a day.
Well,
so it goes. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it's 3 or 4. Sometimes it's 8 or 10. But it's moving along pretty good.
Well, I've noticed in your videos you've been saying click subscribe, which you weren't doing before.
Yeah.
Keep pushing it.
Yeah, I always.
You'll get there.
Bob the Builder, love it.
All right.
you left your Bob the Builder there.
How's your week been?
Tough with kids.
You want me to make you Paul again?
Yeah.
I'll make you Paul.
I was like just pushing buttons trying to get on, and it was like Bob the Builder, and I'm like, what's that? And so I click on it, and now I'm Bob the Builder. Hey, there we go.
A good cartoon from.
Well, we were having fun after the stream had ended, and I made him
Nice.
Bob the Builder, and he just left it. That's pretty funny. So now you can be Paul again. You're much better at being
All right.
Paul.
It don't matter. As long as you don't call me late for dinner, I'm good.
Yeah, I hear you there. Well, I'm the chef, so I never miss dinner.
So what you got on this week, Bill? What repairs you got on?
Well, here, let me stretch it back out, because we only had a couple of people in when I first started up.
Yeah, we're showing 11.
But yeah, well, I mean, what I'm saying is when I was showing all that whatnot, we had a couple. So give me 2 shakes. I got to push all the buttons again. There it is. I got that bad boy who had the ugliest gas you've ever seen in your life. But she came out really nice, and she runs like a charm. And I love McLean's. There's just something about
the
him.
one you did the video on.
It's not. No, this is another one. Notice this one.
God.
They spray painted it red, which is a little bit of a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
And somehow they even found the original stickers, and they re-stickered it after they painted it.
Yeah.
So they were really trying to make it look like a little McLean race car, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I would have stuck with the yellow, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got this, which is the funniest thing, because my ad says anything with a spark plug. And the guy called me with this, and it doesn't have a spark plug, which I thought was just funny as sin, you know. But I grabbed it anyway because, yeah, it shows it's got a little bit of compression. So she's savable. She's just ugly. Needs a new pull string, probably a new carb. The carb is beat to death. And there's pieces missing off of it. That doesn't help.
Yeah.
Let's see. Picked this up just last night. I've actually got the video completely finished on this. Picked it up, just rebuilt the carb, pulled it, and it pulled the first pull. And so that's a pretty.
What engine's on that, Bill?
That's got the Honda 160, the GVC, GCV. Yeah, so
I got one of those.
Even though it's a push motor, which normally you can't sell those at all. So in Texas, nobody wants them. But it's got the Honda motor on it, so I figured, somebody will give me $75 for it. It's a good-looking mower.
Why do you sell more self-propelled?
I sell almost exclusively self-propelled. I only sell about 3 or 4 push mowers a year. Yeah, and then I had the gentleman who sold me these 2 things with both of them are missing parts. I don't think I'll get anything out of either of them. But he sold me these 2, and this for $60. So I said, sure, why not? The little dirt bike looks like it'll be amusing for a few minutes, and it'll make for a fun video. Well,
Yeah.
these guys might make for painful videos, but you never know.
Yeah, those are. I have one of those. I have a.
Oh, one of these?
No, yeah, one of the. I have a Craftsman. It's only a few years old, but it needs. What it needs is the coil.
Oh,
The
the
wire
ignition.
broke off. Yeah, because the wire broke off of it. It's fine. It's just I have to tap into the wire, and there's no way to do it right.
There really isn't. It's yeah. When I have the end pulled out, you're doomed right there.
Yep, pretty
It's
much.
all you're going to do is give yourself aggravation. And I try to make my videos for regular homeowners, for non-mechanical people or people that own a toolbox but aren't really engine people. And I tell them when they have something like that happen, run away, just run away, just do the smart thing.
Yeah, just buy a cheap carb and put it on, and you're usually good to go.
Yeah, buy a cheap carb.
Well, see, and Bill, what I was thinking of, because I'm like, all right, I really want to be a content creator, but for me, I'm more of a prepper side. So I'm more like, let's save what we have. Let's make what we have work.
Yes.
And so I'm probably going to be like rebuilding those nasty, rusted up screws on a carburetor and clean it all up and all that stuff. Use some acetone and all that, and try to get it to where it works.
Pine Sol.
Oh yeah, Pine Sol.
Pine Sol is magical, and Pine Sol's got something going for it in that if you put, like, you can see in the corner of this picture here, you can see my little ultrasonic, my little cheapo ultrasonic cleaner.
Yeah.
I run about 20% Pine Sol and 80% plain water, and I don't use distilled water or anything fancy. And it works like a charm. And the most important thing is it doesn't discolor the aluminum.
Okay. Well, see, and for me, I'm gonna do, like, if I'm gonna do a whole content creator stuff for preppers, it's gonna be like no power, no nothing, and how do I do this in the bush?
So being a prepper, you could still use battery things considering solar power, right?
Yes, correct, but I don't have solar, so
yeah, okay, yeah. If you're doing it with what you got, it's like the little rack of screwdrivers behind these is your tool set.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
I lean pretty heavy on my screw gun.
Yeah, you definitely do, and I mean, I kind of cringe sometimes when you're using it because I'm like, oh, don't over torque it, but you know what you're doing, and I know you know what you're doing. And
yes.
You can feel it, and you let your wrist bend when it's tightening up. You twist your wrist with it and let it.
I'm very soft with it, and that little Milwaukee screw gun is about 6 or 7, 8 years old. I've had it for quite a while, and I'll tell you, the trigger on it is nice and broken in, so I can hold that trigger and have it turn about 20 RPM, which sounds fast, but no, it's not. 20 RPM
no, it's
is
not.
Yeah, that would imply that it would take 5 seconds to be noticeable.
Well, and I'm actually digging through my bag right here. I just re-put some towel hanging rod on my bathroom door, which is a hollow door. But, I mean, I use, my old trusty here, which is actually not old at all. I mean, thing's probably got about 10 hours on it. Not even.
Yeah, I like my little screw gun, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I got to get Milwaukee," or "Oh, got to be DeWalt." I'm really not that way. It's like if I get a hot rod,
brand it is.
Yeah, it's what works best for you.
Yeah, and it's just what I've got because I got it on sale for Christmas. I was kind of like I bought it, and my wife wrapped it for me for Christmas. So, I mean that's kind of how it goes.
Nor just saying he's seen people use impact drivers on the little plastic carbs on those two little nuts on each side of the plastic carb. That just makes you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when you were doing the diaphragms on that ugly mower.
Oh, on the green one.
Yeah, and I've got two of those. I've got a 3.5 horse and I got a 5 horse, and they're the same thing. They're Weed Eater brand. Is that what it is? Weed Eater.
Weed Eater brand mower, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got two of them. So the 5-horse one is the big wheel, and then I've got the 3.5, which is the small wheel, like what you had. You had the bigger motor on yours, which is funny. And then they're in mint condition because they were garage kept. So I bought them from a teacher. So as you read my comments, you know, if you can't do, teach.
Yeah, right.
So he would buy a mower and run it, and then he'd put it away with gas in it, and then the next year it wouldn't start. So he'd just go out and buy a new mower. So he just kept piling them up in his garage. So I ended up with 3 mowers, and the one that actually stood the test of time was the 160cc Honda that he ran out of gas every year for 2 years.
Now, so, that's all it takes to make them last a long time. It really is.
Know. And I keep gas in my mower all winter long, but what I do is I go out once a month and I pull it out of the shed and I start it up and I let it run for 5 minutes and then I just put it back in. And I'm being lazy.
Yeah, well, I always drain mine, but we've got a pretty predictable winter.
Well, you're Texas, and I mean, up here, I mean, in the Northeast, yeah. How's your weather, Adam?
Well, we had 2 days of snow. Just cleared yesterday. About, for us, it's bad, but for you, it won't be. It's about a foot deep.
Oh, man.
A foot of snow.
Yeah.
We might get that now here in the Northeast.
It's a lot of it's gone now, like, but we had a day and a half of it. Went to bed. It were just starting to snow. Got up in the morning like 6 inches. And it snowed through the day. Then went next day.
Yeah. See, we got a foot of snow in the 90s. Huh. Took a whole decade to get a whole foot of snow, but we got a foot of snow in the 90s.
But us being us, UK, it just stops country. A foot of snow. Everything, transport stops, everything stops. That's it.
Oh, yeah. In Texas, that's how it is because, you know, Dallas is right on the edge of a desert pretty much. And you'll see you later, Rick. And what you run into being right on the edge of a desert is hot, lots of hot, but no snow at all. It's this week. As I tell my little brother, it's sort of fun. We had 1 week where it was 87 degrees. It was pretty warm. Not warm for Texas, but pretty warm. And then 2 days later, the high was 44. And that's how it is in the spring and the fall in Texas. You get mostly good days, but the summer will beat you to death. You got to be tough to live through a summer here.
But yes, so weather's been crap over here. Well, usually this time of year it's starting to warm up over here, but we just had a long spell of cold weather.
Yeah, Nord just saying, impacts. My impact does have a variable speed trigger, but I use my screw gun on all the plastics, partially because I've had it forever and ever. My impact's only about 6 months old, and I know how that screw gun works. I can feel it when I'm using it.
Oh yeah, it's same with me. I've just commented on that post, said like, I don't really use an impact on mowers, not because I don't know how to, and I control it because I use them daily really when I'm back at work. I'm not at work at the moment. I'm not well, but that's another story. And I just think it's not worth shooting a ball for something that's only going to take 2 minutes to tighten up. If I was changing,
I carry the impact and the sockets in one in each hand when I'm heading for a mower. It's like, okay, get the blade off, zing, get the spark plug out, zing.
I've noticed that.
Put the spark plug back in, not so much. I don't want to impact it in.
That though. A lot of you Americans like that. They're always with an impact in hand or a little screw gun. I'm like, don't matter what you watch. Love it.
I've got the impact and the screw gun, and there's an appropriate place for both of them.
I'm after a half-inch impact.
Yeah, I don't have a half-inch. Half-inch will eat things up. I'm a little too rough around the edges to play with a half-inch.
I need a half-inch, but for me, I mean, I may be American, but I pretty much do everything by hand. I mean, I only use screw guns to do, drilling, or if I need the impact to take something out, because it sees. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But for putting a screw in, I don't think I ever use any electric at all.
And
I
yeah,
do
I do
everything
it
by
all the
hand.
time.
I know,
And
and
when
I
I
see
first
that.
when I first started doing this, I did tear some things up. You know,
Ah,
getting a good feel for it. There's no doubt about that. But
Yeah, well,
you
once
get
you
good
get
at
the
it.
thread started, you can use it. It's just, for me, it's like I'd rather feel it while I'm doing it and just suffer through. I mean, my wrist is fine, but I'm only 42, so it's like, and I'm not knocking anybody who's older, but it's
You
just
heard that right,
I
Adam?
want I want to feel. I want to feel to make sure all the threads are good all the way through. Otherwise, I'll just run a thread chaser through it and make sure it's nice and clean.
I'm not worried about out like that. Like you said, just rethreading out or getting a broken like bolt out because I've got old stuff. Cause years and years ago, I used to be mechanical. I'm a qualified mechanic, HGV, buses, tanks, you name it. I've worked on it, and so I'm not bothered about that side in it. But I just think, why create work? Why use it and shear a bolt? And you've got to do that when if you just spent 2 minutes longer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
I
That's
agree.
where I
in my
look at it.
mind, it's 2 minutes per bolt. You know,
Yeah.
Bill, I know you're a busy man, but you're not that busy.
I'm not that busy. No, I'm
No,
not.
no, you're not that busy, Bill.
I'm not. Yeah.
Anyway, on
Truth
another
be
note,
told, truth be told, all that stuff that I just bought will all be gone in probably, I'd say it'll probably all be fixed by Wednesday or Thursday.
what's happening with Pit Bike though? Is it going or what?
No, none of the stuff I got today runs.
No, I mean once it's fixed, is it going?
Oh
Or are you
yeah,
keeping Pit Bike?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like 5'10" plus. I'm a little over 5'10", and that's really for kids. So I'm just too long for it. Now the go-kart, yeah, I got the arc welder out, the flux welder out for the go-kart because I wanted to play on a go-kart. We had too
Nice.
much welding to do it on a little dirt bike.
Well, see, and for me, it's like, so I try to maximize the what I have. So I don't sell blowers until the fall. I'll hoard them all the way until the fall, and
Really?
then I put them for max amount of profit.
Well, this is true. You will make more in the fall. But now
Yeah.
the beginning of spring is, it's
Yeah.
when the grass is growing. It's like here the grass really isn't growing yet.
Oh,
So-
here, no, not even.
So it's not growing yet. I've got green here and there in the yard, but I only hit it with the fertilizer a week ago. And I figure about 2 more weeks and I'll be running the mower on Saturday morning, making the neighbors love me.
Am I allowed to wear this hat?
Sure. Are they sponsoring you?
No.
Then nobody cares.
No. All right. We'll just turn it backwards.
Yeah. No,
No,
I mean,
no. I like it, but so I used to wear an Extramart hat and I used to wear a mobile hat because I used to manage gas stations. And my wife was like, "All your hats are beat up. Why don't you get a new hat?" So I put a hat on. So I get this hat for through what is it? Junkyard Digs on YouTube. And I bought, I got the hat for free because I bought stable and I bought diesel stable and stuff. And I filled 55-gallon drums full of diesel for home heating oil and all that. But anyway, so she's like, "Oh yeah, you're stable, all right."
stable.
And I'm like, "God darn it!" So now I gotta get another hat. So I'm gonna get a Vice Grip Garage hat. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
And I might get I really don't want to do Cletus McFarland, but I might get what's the other guy there? I mean, I like racing and stuff, so I'll go with that stuff. But no, I really want a Vice Grip Garage hat. That's pretty much it. But I don't spend a lot of money. I mean, for me to spend $35 or $40 on a hat is like insane.
Well, I can't help but agree on that.
Well, I mean, I
It's-
could get 2
If my
carburetors
wife doesn't let
for
me get a
cheap
haircut
mower.
soon, I'm going to have to get a hat just to keep it all in place.
Well,
I mean,
Well,
and I
so
always
you're
keep
gonna
it
have-
tucked way behind me as much as I can to make it not obvious. But
well,
the truth of it
$2
is
a $2 red Sharpie, you know.
Yeah. It didn't work.
She didn't do it.
She didn't cut it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she says, "Hey, that's pretty cool." I went, "What?" Yeah, she says she did. She said, "Hey, that's pretty cool." And I was pretty speechless at that point. And I said, I'm going to cut my own hair and then let her work out what the mess I made.
Yeah.
Figure just start right about here and go poink and take that off. Take about that much off.
Well, and it's like for me, I mean, I'll cut my hair, but I need my wife to shave the neck and do all that and square it up and all that. And she's like, she goes to go to the neck and she's like,
yeah, that's what you want. So somebody with shaking with a sharp thing on your neck.
And I'm like, well, no, it's not going to hurt me or anything, but it's like, you know, you're scared to cut my neck, but I don't care what it looks like. I don't have to look at it. You do.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll just buzz my whole head and my neck. I don't care. It's just my buzzers won't, get the lower neck hairs because they're too soft, you know? So. And Adam, I want you to get my email. I wouldn't mind chatting with you about some other things, if possible.
Yeah.
Some other things. That sounds mysterious.
No. It's about what you mentioned last time about your diagnosis and mine as well.
All right. Yeah.
You know, the more the merrier on it. You know. So I should be able to chat about that stuff, which is completely, left field of what's going on for this. But just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not a problem.
I know the doctors keep telling me I'm a mess, and I keep telling them I need better doctors.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, you understand that a doctor, and I've told this for years and years and years. I mean, I'm talking 30 years. I'm 42 years old. I've been saying this for 30 years. A doctor has a practice. They're just practicing.
They're practicing, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're practicing. And remember, the guy that got the worst grades, that didn't go to all the classes, that showed up just to show up, they still call him doctor now.
Yep, pretty much.
So that's something to think about, you know?
No, I know. I mean, friends of mine have actually become doctors, and I've talked to them, and they're just...
It's all right. Looking at my tablet and it says it wants charging. I thought it's been on charge all day, and I've just realised it's pulled out a USB charger in wall. So the joys.
Oh.
It's... Oh, what?
All right. I gotta go for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, see you in a bit, Paul. Oh yeah.
Wonder if he knows he can just stop his. He stopped the mic. He just didn't stop the camera. If you stop the camera, it gives you your little whatever your logo set out like.
I don't even know how to stop camera. I don't even know how to do that, Bill.
What do you do?
I don't even know how to do it, so I just leave it.
Oh well, you're working on a phone though, right?
On my tablet.
On a tablet? Yeah, you should have a stop cam down at the bottom.
Probably have somewhere. What's that? I don't know. Be somewhere.
Oh, no. Norge is asking, what's the best freebie machine? Oh, believe me, I love freebie machines. I call them curb treasure. When you run across something that somebody just put out, it's hard to say what the best one was. I did get an Echo 225, GT 225 as curb treasure. But the very, very first machine I ever got was a, I guess it's a Troy-Bilt self-propelled mower that had a broken cable. And the drive cable was broken. That was the only thing wrong with it. It was the very first mower I ever got, and it sort of motivated me to go this direction. And I got it on a curb right around the corner. It was brand new, spotless, obviously stored indoors. And
did you see that one that Mixed Mowers picked up? That Mountfield?
Yeah. Mowers cost more over there, so I assume it's harder to get curb treasure
Well, yeah. I mean, but he says done it, I'll sell for 350 quid.
Yeah, and I don't get anything near that.
Well,
The most I've
we
ever
don't usually,
sold a
but
mower for is 300.
yeah. Like I said, the place where I go and pick them up, I wait. I do what? Well, I wait while they've got a sale on, and I've only got so much room, so and pick them up for like £1 a piece. So like $1 a piece to you. Just pick
That's
them up.
free.
Pick them up for like four and five at a time.
Yeah, if you're paying less for them than you'd pay for a soda pop,
Yeah,
that's free.
yeah. But like I say, they only have that sale on every now and again, and I just wait while it comes on, like you would. Pop up. You don't know what they've got. Some of them at times it's low with some trimmers. Last time they had a load of cheap chainsaws and edge trimmers.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is my thing. I love two-strokes.
I know you do, but I mean, I'm not against two-strokes, but how can I put it? Edge trimmers, petrol edge trimmers, or here don't sell that well. Like £25, £25. Sorry, they're not. There's no money in them by the time you're done.
Yeah, see, it's like I've got a weed eater online right now for $1.25, and it's cheap at $125 because it's a name brand. It's a steel.
Yeah. Do you get many mount fields over there?
Never seen one.
No, I didn't think so. It's just something I picked up on videos that you, Ken, Bruce, and all that, and I've never seen one of these. So I thought, I bet that's a UK.
It's a UK thing. Yeah, you guys like the stripes in the grass, and not so much here.
No.
What sort of shady characters are we drawing in?
We don't do stripes in Canada. No stripes.
We don't do stripes.
They don't even have stripes in the road. You drive wherever you want.
Only on flag.
Yeah, pretty much. You just drive on top of the snowpack.
How's everybody doing?
All right, Wayne.
Good,
You?
Wayne.
How you doing?
How are you, Wayne?
You doing anything fun this week, Wayne?
Jake and I were up late last night. We watched UFC fights, and then we watched that Power Slap league that they had on TV. Crazy. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Power Slap, like
yeah, Dana. Yeah, each guy stands across from each other. They flip a coin, and whoever wins the coin toss gets the first slap. So they had like championships last night, and like these guys are getting knocked out cold. Like, I mean, they're going right down in the ground from one slap. It's like brutal. Like, I don't know if these guys are going to have brain damage later on in life on account of this or not, but like it looks worse than taking a punch.
Trouble with that, Wayne, is just what you've said. If you keep getting beat round head, whether it's boxing, whether it's UFC, whatever it is, you can end up with. Well, I'll tell you something now because, again, none of you know, I'm epileptic. You see.
Yeah.
And that's what it'll cause later on down the line.
Yeah.
You get too many beats round your head.
But they say it's better than boxing because you're not being exposed to as many blows over the period of time because the rounds in like the UFC are like 3 minutes and it's a maximum of 3. If it's a championship, it's 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get knocked out on the first hit, of course.
Well, you know, hey, there's people that enjoy fighting, and now they got jobs.
Hey.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, you've now got a job fighting.
I'd go in ring with Tyson Fury and let him knock me out in first fucking round. If he paid me £1 million to do it, I'd be like, well, I'm not fucking bothered. I'll take that for one round.
See, I couldn't do that. I'd be afraid he'd kill me.
So you guys subscribe to Gravely Man?
No, don't know him.
Okay, well, hit him up. Gravely Man. He's got a YouTube channel. He's only 14 short of hitting 1,000.
Oh, we gotta help him out.
He's got some awesome Gravely equipment. I think he inherited it from his dad. And you got to see some of this, like 1956, 1961 Gravely stuff. He just did a shout out today and sticker shout out. Put up a couple of new channels that are looking for support to grow a little bit. One's called Lewis Mowers and Boats, and another one is Turning Wrenches 85.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just looking at his channel.
Yeah, his name's Artie. He's got diabetes, and he is losing his eyesight, but he said it's getting better. But you got to see some of the equipment this guy worked on. Like, I mean, I wish I had some of that Gravely stuff he's got. Imagine that 1956, 1961, and he was still using it. One of the videos just recently, he was using the 1961, and you wouldn't know by looking at it that it was a 61. And I don't even think he restored it. Like, I'm not positive. It looks like it's all original.
Huh.
I've just subscribed to it, Wayne.
Beautiful.
Wayne, what's Jake's channel called?
Eliminator Performance.
I've
Don't
already
ask
got
me
it.
to put a link up because I haven't got a clue how to do that. Bill's the
I've got him already.
Stuff.
I was looking around it the other day and I thought, when I catch you, I'll ask him what it were called. I've already got him on my subscriptions.
Bill, put them in there, and I don't know. I'm trying to get to the comments so that way
I don't know how to do links, and I don't even think I could comment over here. I could read the comments, but I can't comment on a comment.
There we go.
I just threw the link up for Gravely, man. Hey Tom, how you doing? And I subscribed to him, so he's up to, what's he up to? 89 now. He's going to wonder what happened. All of a sudden, he got a bunch of subscribers all at once.
Well, no, I commented on his video where he did the shout out because Lewis Boats and Motors, like, the guy actually called me. He got a hold of my phone number somehow, and me and him spent about an hour and a half on the phone. Just a great guy. And he was asking for a few tips on how we could get his channel to do better. And I said one of the ways would be to cut down the time. Like, I think he did a 45 or a 46-minute video. I said, shorten it up and make it in pieces. You'll get more view time. You get a lot of people that won't sit through a 46-minute video unless it's Musty One that's putting it out. Like Musty One, I think everybody watches his.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to live that long unless they're supermodels fixing the engines, of course.
We're not allowed to watch that channel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's part of being married. It's like, nope, not today, not you.
I spend most of my time, like if I'm in the shop, I've got small engine repair channels going on there most of the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when I'm down there, I usually have some sort of music going. And
we run the music off and on. In the summertime, wintertime, it's mostly the YouTube going on the TV in there.
Yeah, it's sort of funny because I turn the music off and turn the camera on. Then I turn the camera off and turn the music on.
Yeah, you got to make sure when you're videoing, you don't have the radio going.
K. Paul, ya buddy. I think Paul jumped over.
There was one guy.
Did you jump over, Paul?
Oh man,
one guy called Mr. Tecumseh. He was doing a video while he was traveling in his truck, and he had his radio going, and two of his videos got blocked off just for copyright, just because of the music that was playing.
Yes. Yeah, I've had that happen once or twice to me, and I just delete the videos.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and we keep losing Paul.
But it's crap.
I'm not early tonight, Tim. Tim says I'm early tonight. No, I'm not early tonight. The clock moved. You got to reset the wristwatch. You coming up, Tim? Paul's up somewhere. I don't know where he is. I think he tried to do something and it didn't quite work.
Hold on a minute. This is all getting me confused here. What time did you come on today, Bill?
At 2:00.
3 Eastern Central.
Right. But your clocks have gone back or forwards or something?
They've gone forward.
Yeah.
Ah, well, that's why you fucked everyone up.
Yeah. I dorked up the system.
My language, sorry. Ours don't. I think ours go forward or whatever in 2 weeks.
Hopefully YouTube won't catch the accent.
Because
at
this moment in time, it's showing 20 to 8 UK time. You only come on usually at 7 UK time, but you've been on an hour.
Yeah, I've been on. Well, I turned it on about 10 minutes early.
Mm. So It
Why,
must
in
be.
England, you haven't turned your clocks ahead yet?
No, it's another. I think it's another 2 weeks before ours go forward.
Oh, okay.
Sure, it is.
There you
So
go,
it's
Tim.
like,
Yeah, ours
Yeah.
went ahead this morning at 2 a.m.
yeah.
I don't know
Crazy,
when
innit?
mine do.
Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching Musty One. If you want to see something unique, he's
What,
working
that jet
on
ski? That's snow thing.
yeah, that
Snowmobile.
thing. Yeah, that's a
Ah.
beauty. Like, I never seen one like that in my life. I wish I had that thing just to try it out.
It looks pretty terrifying. That long, skinny thing.
Yeah. With the one track on the back and the two
Yeah.
skis in the front. Yeah, but just think of riding that thing in the snow.
Last time I saw it like that, we were on James Bond, I think.
But it'd have to be pretty compacted to ride it because the thing would just sink. It's got no surface area.
It'd have to fit in the trunk of my car because I'd have to drive a few hundred miles to get to the snow.
Yeah.
I think I'd rough it up on the way there.
Bill, stop rubbing it in.
Well, it's Norge is saying, "What's with Mr. Briggs?" Norge, I don't know if you've had the pleasure of being in a live with dear Mr. Briggs, but he can be a noisy sort. He's not for everybody. He does have his own entertainment, though. He can be just funny as anything sometimes.
He's the only guy in the world that I know that drinks green mint milk, and now he calls it liver breakfast pizza. Never heard of that before.
Liver breakfast pizza.
Liver breakfast. Yeah, yesterday I found out it's. I said liver. Originally, I said, "You eat liverwurst pizza?" And he said, "No, liver pizza." And then I think yesterday on a live, he corrected me and said it's a liver breakfast pizza. Who eats liver period for breakfast?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
it's Liverpool
In the
style.
UK, they do.
Oh, I can't stand it, but yeah, it's common. I can't stand it.
Like, I like liver and onions, but not on pizza.
No.
I got to go grab the link. Happy. I think that's it.
Oh, I found that stop cam button now, Bill.
Sorry?
I found that stop cam button. You know when you said you can stop your camera?
Yeah.
I found it, and a mute button that's hiding it.
Yeah. So you can go like this.
So yeah.
Oh, so Michael Roberts, you're not moved over yet? Oh, that's another two weeks from now.
Day before my birthday.
Just saying, Wayne, guess what I had trouble finding yesterday? An exhaust gasket for a Quantum engine.
Really?
You found it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had some right trouble getting it. Couldn't believe it. I was like, one of the most common bits, Amazon a lot. Couldn't find one.
Oh, we got stock over here. Containers full of gaskets and anything we need, we got it. It's rare that I have to order anything.
Well, it's like saying to Bill early on, you've got a lot bigger factories and shops, and there's more over them. Or there's not as many.
No, like right now, Jake just picked up a Bolin single stage snowblower for free yesterday. So it needs a recoil rope put on it. It needs new paddles. So I can get them from Stens at a reasonable price. It's made by MTD, but I can get all the parts off of Stens. They're like OEM manufactured aftermarket parts. So we haven't had any issues with them. And it's a 4-stroke, so it's a nice one. It's likely already sold before we even put it up for advertising. We've got people that have been asking us for them, and we haven't had any this year.
What will that fetch, Wayne?
Likely 3, and it's in really good shape, and with all the paddles and everything redone, likely $350 to $400.
Fucking hell.
Canadian.
Yeah.
You're back. You buddy boy.
Oh, you can delete it and just put Paul. That's fine.
No, you have fun with that. That's all you.
No, it's just the hard part is I'm a member of so many different prepper channels,
Yeah.
and I have umpteen military family members. My phone, I have to literally reset my phone like 2 or 3 times a day. It's
How's that?
insane. Because I know they're watching, but I don't do anything stupid. It's just
Bill,
it is
Adam,
what it is.
Wayne, Paul.
Here he is,
How you
the
doing?
donut master.
Yes, the donut master. Yes.
So you can really have all sorts of all sorts of fun with these little titles.
Yep.
So what you've been up to this week then,
And
Tim?
it overrides from here.
Not sure who
I've been
I
up-
am.
Put a video out changing a fuel tank on an
Oh,
SV150.
I seen that.
Yeah,
Sent you wrong tank, didn't they?
yeah, sent me the wrong tank.
Oh.
Plonkers.
Yeah, so I saw that. I saw that when it just come out when I
Yeah.
watched it. Is that one to sell or just one you're repairing?
Yeah, it's one that I use for myself for my grass cutting and that.
The grass cutting.
Yeah.
Well, we all tank just leaking.
No, the see the lugs where it bolts to the actual engine. One of the lugs had come loose and it had broke, so I took that tank off and put a new one on just to stop fat, just to save time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was typing away, getting everybody's names all straightened up. Hey, that was funny though.
That was.
And
Hey, we
Nord
gotta
says,
have
yeah,
some fun.
oh, you got to, yeah. And if we take ourselves too terribly seriously, then we're just going to die young and unhappy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Norge, I
mean-
usually go to Amazon for my parts, but I go to Amazon mostly because I'm in the middle of the wonderful world of Amazon here. They've got warehouses everywhere around me.
Yeah.
So I get everything
Yeah.
same day or next day, depending on
Yeah.
whether or not I'm
Yeah.
willing to pay the $3.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've always been an OEM guy, but an $80 Briggs carb versus a $20 or 12 or 11 or 14 or 15 or 16 or 18 or 20.
Yeah.
Like, what Amazon do I use for a Briggs carb for a Quantum?
And now, the only time I buy a Quantum carb, because those carbs rebuild real easy. Now, I'll get one. I'll get one if it's in truly, truly bad shape. Like, somebody tried to open it with a wrench, from the side,
Yeah.
The little 2-stroke carbs, I always, because I try to think about the guy in his garage. And so the little 2-stroke carbs, I say, guys, just don't take them apart. Just don't bother. Just spend $12, buy a cheap little Japanese carb, a little Chinese carb, and be done with it.
Yeah.
But with a 4-stroke carb, especially the Quantum carb, it's like it is so. Or for that matter, the E-series carb is even easier. You take the ball off and pop that little white thing out, blow it out, and fill it back in. It'll start 99% of the time.
Yeah, no kidding.
The last video I've got coming out, I think it's coming out Tuesday. It's actually finished and uploaded. I just have it. I've got the next 4 scheduled.
Yeah.
All set up to go. And the one that's set for Tuesday, I think, is the Honda that I did yesterday, because I rearranged the schedule to move it up because I had Weed Eater, Hedge Trimmer, Weed Eater, and I said, no, I don't want to do those back to back to back. I want to throw something else in there, And my last one was a Weed Eater, so I said, I'll throw that Honda in there.
Now, Bill, I mean, I'm trying to come up with a way of offering your channel to preppers. So if I were to be able to do that, then you get a huge push.
Well, I need a huge push. We all do. That's
Yeah.
why I went out
Well,
when
no,
he
I know,
suggested Garrett that other channel. I went and jumped in there and subbed real quick.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, a little bit of, and maybe I shouldn't say it on the air, but I'd like to see you clean out that gas tank. Me personally. I mean, I don't
I've got a
care if
video.
I'm pushing you or not.
I've got a video on cleaning out gas tanks. That's the only reason I didn't do that one live.
Yeah.
Now Norge 960 what is it? What's his name? 696. He says he hasn't found a permanent fix when you've got a quantum that's got the warp in it, so it won't prime. But here's a little tip. I take a toothpick, I put the RTV silicone on it, and I just put that silicone around that little hockey stick grooved raised part that's on the back. And I stick the gasket onto it and bolt it to the carb and never had a problem. But before I put everything together, I let it set up and then I test it. And I normally get a good 1/4 inch to 3/8 squirt of fuel shooting out of that emulsion tube. Works every time.
Wow.
Unless it's warped really bad. But I've never seen one warp that bad. And normally the people that warp them are the people that don't tighten up the carburetor bolts before they go and tighten up the one on the top right corner. There's 3 bolts that hold that intake, that air cleaner intake on.
See, now Tom says he likes the primer version of that better than the auto choke. Now, for me personally, I love the auto choke.
Yeah,
when an auto choke works correctly, it's the best thing in the world. It's just you walk out there. It's when I work on a motor, you got to think, when I'm working on a motor, I've usually got the carburetor completely torn apart. It's gotten soaked down, it's been cleaned, and the auto choke will start at the first pull, even when I just bolted it on and it started out empty.
Yeah.
It's if the auto choke works correctly. Now, if it doesn't work correctly, you do have to think about it when you put it back together.
That one I'm doing at the moment, Bill, that's got a primer bulb on it. It's not auto choke.
Yeah, Tom over vintage engine, small engines.
Yeah.
He told me, we were texting on WhatsApp the other day, and he said that a 21-inch auto choke is just a complete mystery meat in Australia. He says they just don't have them. He says they're all 16s and 18s. I've never seen a 16-inch mower.
No, me neither.
I didn't know there was such a thing until he told me.
What?
And I'm sure he's not making it up. I'm sure they're 16-inch mowers.
Just mowers in general, you're talking 16-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, common as out up here, 16s, 17s.
16-inch regular rotary. Horizontal shaft.
Yeah.
See, I've never seen one.
No.
That mount, that SP470 I'm doing at the moment, is a 17-inch mount field.
All we see around here, the smallest is likely a 20.
Yeah, that's how I see 20s. And I tell you, it's sort of funny, 20 to 21. The blade is 1/2 inch longer on each side. But
see,
if it says 20 on it,
it goes on garden size, doesn't it? You've got all that land, you need something bigger. Us over here, we've got a backyard.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you are working with smaller turf, which is why you've got the patience to put the stripes on it.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've got 1/3 of an acre that I call a yard, and I'm not going to take the time to put stripes on it every Saturday morning.
I can go up to my mum's. Cut a front grass and a rear grass in less than 20 minutes. That tells you how small it is.
Yeah. That's why you put stripes on it, because it's like working in a flower garden.
But that's with 17-inch mower.
Yeah, wow. Tom, I agree with Tom. I see 21s most often, but when I get a 20-inch that's not self-propelled in Texas, I can't give it away. It's just nobody wants it. It's just not big enough. As people will ask, they'll say, "Is it a 20 or a 21?" And I'll say it's a 20, and they'll say, invariably it's a girl that called because guys won't even call on it, and they say, "Oh, well, okay, my husband wants something a little bit bigger than that," and I just leave that one alone. I don't touch it and say, okay, if that extra 1/2 inch on each side matters that much to him, he wants a 21. But you know what you want. you know what you want, and you can't argue with somebody about
Yeah,
it.
but it's like you with ride-on mowers. You've got one of them over here. You'd start it up, turn engine off, and you've cut grass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally. That's it.
You know,
100 mil of petrol gone.
I've got a 42-inch John Deere that I ride around a 130, and it's got the 22 horse motor and all that, you know, but it takes me about 25 minutes as fast as it'll go. I've done this yard in 21 years. I've done this yard one time with a self-propelled mower. Now the street is, you know, if this is flat, the street that I live on and my property is like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like much, but it's like 200 feet across the front. So that means that you go downhill for 200 feet, and then you got to go back to the top.
Up.
And even self-propelled, you're going to be old before you're finished. The first time I did it, when I first moved in here, like 2 days after I'd moved in, I didn't even have everything here yet. There was still a truck coming, and my rider was at the other house, but there was a self-propelled mower here. I grabbed it and I said, well, the grass is really shaggy because the house was sitting empty for a month with nobody cutting it before we got moved in. I said, the grass is shaggy. I got to cut it. I went between the mailboxes about 100 feet up that hill, and I started out going uphill. I got to the end of it, and this is back before I was working on small engines all the time. I got to that second post on the other end of I've got a circle driveway, and I turned the mower off. I walked inside and got a piece of paper, and I got a felt tip marker, and I wrote free mower and taped it to the mower, and then went and borrowed a pickup truck and went and got my mower and came back and cut it. The mower was gone when I got back. I said, nope, I'm not going to cut this with a self-propelled mower. I'm not going to live long enough.
It's like, I like seeing them videos what you do with snowblowers, because seeing one over here is just non-existent. Well, you don't see them
pretty much non-existent.
They are, aren't they, Tim? Only people that have got them are people who've got them attached to a tractor or something.
Yeah,
a little snowblower like you've got for winter. No, not got no all here like that. No.
Yeah. Well, it's saying
it's funny how it's a totally different world.
Yeah.
Steve's Small Engine Saloon in Vancouver. Everybody figures they get a lot of snow. So I don't think he gets any snow blowers in for repair. They just don't get snow in Vancouver.
Well, now for him, it might not be, you know, we all make videos of the items that are in the shop that we're interested in.
Yeah.
You don't make videos of everything.
No.
It's
like, what I'm saying, Bill, is you won't see anybody, well, I haven't seen anybody from UK do any work on a snowblower because they just don't exist, like Tim says.
No.
They don't exist. Because even though we get snow, we just sit in house drinking beer and eating donuts what people sent up for free.
Yeah, we don't get anywhere near as much snow as what you's doing the States.
Yeah, Wayne's sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, we got a foot of snow yesterday," and I think, or Adam, we got a foot of snow. And it's like in Texas, if we get a foot of snow, people will die. A lot of people will die because they don't know what to do in the snow.
Yeah, you got that big ice storm. What, 2 years ago or a year?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years.
A year or 2 years ago, yeah. That stopped the state.
Yeah, killed it.
I was just saying earlier, Wayne, this week I don't know about Tim, but we've had a foot of snow down here, and it just stops everything. Buses stop, transport stops. That's it, done.
Yeah, well, people, if you don't get it, you don't know how to drive in it.
Oh, not to drive in it.
Yeah, but same thing in Canada here. We get snow. When we get our first snowfall, it's unbelievable how many people are still going out on the road and driving like there's no snow, and there's all kinds of accidents the first snowfall. And all they got to do is take their time and they'd be okay, but everybody's in a hurry to get no place.
Yep.
We had snow here last night during the night, and then when I got up this morning, it was gone because we had rain after the snow. So the rain washed it all away.
How much snow did you get? What day was
Not
Friday, Thursday, Friday, didn't you?
We got it Friday. We got it yesterday, which was Saturday. So that was it. We got it Saturday night during the night, and then I wouldn't even say we got a foot.
We had a good foot, but like you said, by Saturday it had gone.
Yeah.
Well, there's still bits, but not major.
No.
I was still car booting Sunday today.
You know, I moved to Texas from Indiana, and I'm from Indiana, which is the middle of the country here.
Yeah.
I know you guys in the UK might not know where Indiana is, but if you see the big lakes that stick down and just touch the top of America in Canada, Indiana is what it's touching. It's right underneath what it's touching. But I remember when I first moved there, I was raised in South Florida, which never snows. Went to Silicon Valley, that never snows. But I was born in Indiana. Then I moved to Indiana, and coming out of Silicon Valley, driving a Corvette and all that. The first time it snowed when I moved back to Indiana I was at work when it started, and I thought, oh, what could go wrong? Surely a Corvette with that big engine will make it through the snow. Yeah. 2 hours later, I'd made the 9-mile trip home.
Yeah.
And when I got to the house, if my house is right here, the car went wing going down the hill right past the house, clear to the end of the street. And I was going, and I finally, lucky enough, they didn't plow the snow at the end of the street because it was a dead end. And I slid down the hill, and then it snow plowed to a stop in a big pile of snow. And then I spent maybe the next 4 hours getting rid of all the snow on the street so that I could get the car back to the house with my little snow plow and my little, I guess then an MTD rider.
Yeah.
And we went out the next day and bought a truck.
I had a 77 Corvette, and I drove it the whole winter through a lot of snow. Just took my time, a lot of spinning, but just take your time, and you'll still get someplace with it.
Hey,
Gravely
man,
man
how
in
you
the
doing?
house.
Hi, Gravely Man.
Yeah, Wayne told us all to subscribe to you, buddy. So we all subscribe to you. So we expect you to step up and subscribe back to all the guys here.
I think Artie's subscribed to everybody. He's got quite the sticker board going on there. So
I see. Yeah, I got to get some stickers.
If you
someday.
don't have a sticker, get a hold of him, drop him an email, and he'll get you a sticker out, do a sticker swap.
Hey, unknown.
Yeah, I've just sent.
That's still one of my favorite. What you call it? Names for a channel. And then a little face, and then known, and you can see it's a little face going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I noticed nowadays. Now I'm guilty of it too, so I can't say anything. But like yesterday, I got like 10 new subscribers, 12 new subscribers, not one notification.
Yeah,
and it's because people all have the subscriptions private.
Yeah.
Now I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah, people don't hit the notification. Like if I hit the notification bell on every channel I'm subscribed to, the bell would be ringing on my phone every like I'm subscribed to just about every channel out there that's got anything to do with small engine repair. So like I can watch anybody, even the new channels that are coming up. If I see something that comes up while I'm in the shop, I go check it out when I get into the office and I hit the subscribe button.
But yeah, it's like when you mentioned Gravely Man, I went and subscribed because I wasn't subscribed. And I think back to whenever I think about that, I think back to when I had 14 subscribers, which was only about a year ago, and thinking to myself, man, I'm never going to get 100. I'm never going to get 100. I'm just not going to. And then I woke up one day and had 70. And then at least a month later, I had 90.
Yeah.
And then of course, when you get close to a number, you start watching it. And I watched it very painfully go over a 2 or 3 week period from 90 to 100. And we joke around that you never get to see that cool number where it's a nice even 100. It was 100 for about 4 minutes, and then it went to 103.
What hurts is the guys that are starting out and like they see it. Like my buddy, he's got a channel called The Chubby Butcher. It's a cooking channel.
Yeah.
And he'll be at like 549, and then all of a sudden he'll be at 547, and he'll get all bummed out, like, geez, I lost 2 subscribers. I said, that happens. Like, it's nonstop. Like you'll go up and you'll go down, but in the long run, you go more up than you go down.
Yeah. It used to break my heart when I lost 1.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't anymore. I don't care. It's like, okay, I lost 1. And the way you got to look at it, if you lose a subscriber, don't be bothered at all, because a subscriber that's just a number that never watches a video or anything, he's just a number.
Yeah.
That's just a number, and it doesn't do anything for you.
No.
So when you lose a subscriber, don't think you lost anything. When you gain a subscriber, you gained something.
Don't you get paid on views, Bill?
On views, only on views. Once you break 1,000, every penny you make is on views.
Yeah, and then you need the hours of watch time too. I think it's
4,000
hours
watch
a
hours.
month of watch time.
Well, now when I broke the help me out here. When I broke the 1,000 subscribers, I already had like 9,000 hours of watch time.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can really get 1,000 subscribers, and unless of course you make 2 videos and you're popular. John Clem, he's only got 2 or 3 videos, but he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
So he might get 1,000 subscribers before he's got 4,000 hours.
Yeah.
Are you monetized, Tim?
No, I'm nowhere near monetized. I'm only at 319 subs.
Hey, I'm one of them.
Me too. You need to push it.
We're subscribed. Got to get Tim more subscribers.
Yep.
Jake was telling me about a young kid. I guess he was 16 years old, and he had been doing some videos, and he never filled in the monetization part of his channel, and he had like over 1,000 subscribers, and I don't know if it was his parents or whatever that told him, well, you know what, you should go in there and subscribe for the monetization. And the kid had been doing so good that he had like 16 grand in the bank.
Jesus.
16 grand. The kid had been doing so good on this channel, but didn't realize that there was a monetization section that he had to check with YouTube to be monetized.
Tell you what, it's a simple 49-step process.
Yeah.
49-step process.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to start with like that.
49 simple steps. But yeah, I'm making a point because I remember the painful days getting started, and now it's you figure what, 2 weeks ago, it was about 2 weeks ago, I broke 1,000, and now it's at 1,064. So it's going along pretty good,
right.
and I'm loving it. But I tell myself it's not the 1,064, it's that 1,900 views in the last 24 hours or 48 hours that matter.
Yeah.
That's the magic number.
So have you got your watch hours, Bill?
Oh yeah. The 4,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine's over 10,000.
Right.
So I'm all good. I'm showing in the last 28 days 1,100.
You're going about watch hours. Say I went to watch one of your videos, Bill, but I didn't watch it all. I only watched half of it. Would that does that go down as how many minutes you've watched it for, or what?
I mean, it's cumulative minutes.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
No. That's all good. It's something good to talk about, especially for people who don't have the subscribers yet. I'm all for cheering for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like if I run into somebody that has, if I see one that's got 96. It's like, is that channel even vaguely interesting? If it's even vaguely interesting, then I'll click it. I'll subscribe to it.
Yeah.
It's because you want to see everybody do well. We live and die as a team in this,
Well, the small engine repair community is really good. They kind of stick together, and you watch all these channels and the lives, and everybody's promoting everybody else, trying to help them out if they're not there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've only got to look at Bill. Like he says, 2 weeks ago, he weren't there, and just by every saying, well, subscribe to him. Can we get him outline? And it's a totally different world just for getting them last 50 subscribers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a big deal to get to that 1,000. Like it makes you feel a lot better that you've accomplished something, and that now you're on the go. Like after that, it just keeps on going up. And you got to remember, these things are going to be on forever.
Yeah. They're good. They'll be here. They'll be here after
After
I'm
dead.
gone. Yeah.
Me too. Well, I hope so.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Tom's asking, hey Naoki, he says, did I get my new credit card yet? So yeah, I got my new credit card, and Tim got stolen donuts, so everybody's good. I didn't mean to steal them. I tried not to. But yeah, he got hot
I've
donuts.
just picked up 2 new subscribers.
So what you up to?
They're 321.
Now you see, I won't pick up any new subscribers today because nobody knows I'm live if they're not subscribed.
Yeah.
You know, it's so helping out everybody else. Absolutely. You know, that's nature of the beast for me.
But see, I don't think that I hit the notification bell. And yet when I was in the shop, your promo or your preview came up on YouTube as being in 30 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
So the algorithm is picking up your live stream and showing that it's going to be coming up.
Well, yeah, you figure, what have we got? 13 people now? But in 6 months, it'll be 50 people.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
You don't get like a lot of subscribers or a lot of people on the live streams. It's normally your regulars that are always coming up.
Yeah, Bruce, as a matter of fact, you know, I was talking to Bruce about it. He's got what, 45,000?
Yeah.
And he said, buddy, and he says, trust me, he says, you're ahead of where I was after 2 years.
Yeah.
Said,
I think you're ahead of where Jake was too, because Jake's at 72.3, I think, right now, or 73.2, I forget, but he's around there. And I think you got your 1,000 faster than he got his.
Well, mine
72,000.
72,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake's is big.
I know I do follow him, like I said, but I didn't know how many subscribers he got.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 9 years.
And I have to be careful, though, is the one thing I'm very guilty of is because I've got all this fancy editing software and all the special keyboards and, you know, extra cameras and all that. Sometimes I want to get a little bit too fluffy, shall we say, with the video.
Yeah.
You know, I want to, you know, zoom back and forth between cameras, and it's like, okay, let's do split screen, let's do side split, let's do top split. Let's
That's not bad. I like that last one where you had the one shot up in the top left corner. That came out nice. It was well done.
I've done a few of those, and those are usually pretty popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about on the McLean, right?
Yeah, I think that's the one it was on. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually don't do those for weed eaters, but mostly because I'm very, very right-handed. You know, some people are right-handed. I'm very right-handed. It's with my left hand. I'm happy if I could get a hat on my head. That I use my left hand for the delicate work and my right hand for everything else. But so when I'm working on a weed eater, I can put the camera to my right and I can see the weed eater pretty well. I can see everything I'm doing. So I usually don't use 2 cameras. When I'm running around a 4-stroke, then I always say I'm always in the way. So 2 cameras makes me not always be in the way. I can I'm sure you saw, I'll switch the views back and forth.
Yeah.
If I switch back and forth, it means that one had a better angle or I was just in the way of one of them, you know?
Yeah.
How do you do that, Bill, with 2 cameras? How do you do it?
Well, I'll have, as a matter of fact,
You've got 2 cameras,
See,
2 video feed.
These 2.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it the software that records one on top of other, or do you have to edit them together?
Well, yeah, here, let me see if I got it up. I've got actually one with multiples sitting right here right now. Let me bring her. Let me set it up so you can see it. It's easier than you think if you've got the right software.
Because I've seen it on a lot of videos.
Yeah. Okay. You see here. This is you'll see V1, V2, V3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my video feeds. The reason I've got a V3 is you notice up here, the little blue spot here. If you zoom into it, that's my logo. That's where it goes, that bang, 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 bang. So you can drag it back and forth and it shows it actually doing its thing. And it's like the little subscribe thing. That's where you can see it's up here. It's my little animation. And then I use a delta key to get rid of the green, which is why they both have a green background, because I need the delta. I use the delta key to wipe the green out, and it makes the green transparent.
See that's the bit. If I did do any videos or all that, that's the one I have trouble with editing video software.
Well, now
it's not my thing.
It's not easy, but you pick one and you go with it headstrong. When I first got this, I went, I got the DaVinci, and it's much more complicated than some others, but one thing at a time. When you just say, hey, I want to do this, let's figure out how to do that. Well, here's a good one. But yeah, dragging the videos in, you see, you just basically drag one track on top of the other one.
Yeah, that's just it.
And you see, if you look here, we'll play it for a second. Let me bring this down a little. I think this has got a fade in. Okay, you caught that, right? The little flip from one to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see there's two video tracks. So now on that one, since we're sitting here fooling with it anyway, let's fool with it some. We'll go over here. And what do we want to do? See, we've got this jumps over. The top video is the only thing showing. But if I took this and dragged it over here, then it'd fade into it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like I did something that was really complicated, right? When all I did was drag that. Or if I took this one and just drag and drop it over, then we'll do that same little piece. And you see, there's not much to it.
Mm.
Yes, I did the little bounce thing on it.
Yeah.
And that's that one. That video's that close to finished. I've got everything done, except I've got to go over and check my transitions and make sure I don't. That was a transition.
Yeah.
And that was a really hard transition, going from, when it just simply flipped from one camera to the other.
Yeah. But do you use two phones, or do you use?
I use my phone. I've got an S21. It's not even the newest, shiniest thing. And a GoPro 10.
GoPro.
Yeah. The GoPro 10 has a sound problem, but it makes really nice color, but it doesn't handle darkness well. Right. So if I'm zooming into something that's dark, then this isn't ideal for it. The camera zooms into darkness well, and I can plug in a USB microphone to it that's wireless. So it handles the sound much better. So what you'll see on the track, go back there for one more second. On the track, you'll see there's only one soundtrack. Down here, the green one is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I use the soundtrack to synchronize the two cameras.
Right.
And once the cameras are synchronized, then I delete the soundtrack for one of them.
Right.
Because no matter how perfect the synchronization is, it gives you a bit of a chorus effect. And so once they're synchronized, I just use the camera's sound, because it has that same mic, and that mic is clipped to me right here. I'm sure you see it in all the videos. That little mic right here, that's the only thing picking up sound, and the sound off the GoPro I just throw away.
Yeah.
Now, can you adjust the lighting with your telephone too? Like, can you make adjustments on your phone for the different, you know what I mean? The volume of light that's showing up?
Well, now on the camera picks up what the camera picks up.
Yeah, because I know Jake uses his phone and he can adjust. He showed me how he adjusts the light intensity, because if he's in the shop and the LED lights are on, he has to adjust his telephone to get the best quality picture that he can get.
Yeah, now I flip back and forth between cameras. As I said, they handle light differently.
Yeah.
Now on the S21, you can fool around with it, but I don't fool around with the light, because I can go over to DaVinci and go to the color wheel and do whatever I want.
Yeah. Right.
It's the 800-pound gorilla of editing software.
Yeah, it's an upgraded Photoshop in theory, isn't it?
Well, they use that same exact software to do, like Marvel movies and major motion pictures. That's the same software they use, but they do it on 5 different monitors, and they've got this huge video panel in front of them where all I've got is this little. I've got my little. Where's it at? My little cheapo video panel, which is nice because it's right here. As you see, it's right next to my mouse, so I go back and forth between the mouse and the panel. It's like my start and stop buttons right here. So that video's still up, and it only operates on DaVinci no matter where your focus is on your computer. So it works out really good.
So you let it out of the bag there. You're a Colts fan, eh?
I'm from Indiana.
And still a Colts fan.
And still a Colts fan, yeah.
Living in Texas, or living in Texas.
Well, now I try not to show anything like that outside the building because Cowboys fans are a little bit funny about the Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys fans love the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when the Cowboys lose, the suicide rate goes up in Texas.
Yeah.
And they're just insanely big on the Cowboys. And I don't get it.
We're Buffalo Bills fans over here.
Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel bad.
No, I don't. I feel bad they've never won a Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, but they've got the distinction of being the only team that managed to lose 4 in a row.
I know. Terrible. That was terrible.
Yeah, Adam, if you don't watch American football, Buffalo, back in their glory days, went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and lost all 4 of them.
Yeah.
And
nobody's been to 4 in a row except for Buffalo, and they lost all 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'm a bit clued up on American football because when I was younger, I went to it a bit, but my best mate, he follows it.
Now, I'm a basketball fan more than football.
So I get to know a lot what's happening, but he's a Miami Dolphins fan.
I was raised in South Florida.
And
the first football game I ever went to was Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Because he wants to go to a game before he pops his clothes. He wants to go to America just to watch an American football game.
He wants to go to America just to watch a football game?
Yeah.
No, if he goes to America to watch a football game, now I'm a Colts fan and Wayne's a Buffalo fan, but Wayne will agree with me. If you go to America and you're going to see one football game, you got to go to a Raiders game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Those
boys,
are the
I got to go.
on earth.
I got to go. I got a guy coming to pick up a bunch of belts.
See you later, Wayne. Look after yourself.
See you later, Wayne.
Okay.
See you later, Wayne. Thanks for coming.
Wayne.
Okay. Thanks, Bill. Bye, boys.
See you later.
Yeah, I tell you, Tim, you got to go to a Raiders game. If you're only going to one game.
Yeah.
I lived in Silicon Valley for years. I was a software engineer, so that's where software engineers live, is Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And I went to maybe, you don't know it, but the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers and the Oakland Raiders at that point were across the bay. You could actually see one stadium from the other stadium. But there was a bay in the way, of course.
Yeah.
It's like San Francisco is on a peninsula, and it's at the very top, and Oakland is on the outside of the peninsula. But yeah, I went to 3 or 4 San Francisco 49ers games, and they were doing okay back in the 90s. And then a neighbor says, "You got to go to a Raiders game." And I said, "Got to?" And he said, "You got to go to a Raiders game." I went to that Raiders game, and I was pretty sure I was going to die before we got off the train getting into the stadium. It's like everybody's wearing black. Everybody's got their face painted. Everybody's just completely batshit crazy for the Raiders. And I said, okay, that was worth it. Yeah, they're talking about the price of Snap-ons. Yeah.
Snap-on, it's gone through the roof.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of thinking Harbor Freight's my friend when they went $350 for a 1/4-inch socket set.
See, it's got dear Snap-on gear. I mean, like I say, I used to mechanic, and I've got a lot on it, including box.
I bet you have got Snap-on.
Yeah, I bet you I've got $8 worth of Snap-on tools. at least.
You could buy a house with that.
You could buy an house with that. Not Ori, you couldn't. You couldn't buy a
No,
living room,
not-
Ori.
No.
$8,000.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, Bill. I envy you about tools. I really do. You look at some of the stuff like online, and it's at like Walmart and that in America. You look at it and think like an 8-piece Makita set with batteries and everything, and it's about $250, $300. Or it's nearly 800 quid.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's and you're paying more for parts for all your mowers too.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
You know, talking to Mick and talking to the other guys over there. They tell me how much they pay for something, and you just go,
All right,
"Ugh."
then. Just for a comparison, that exhaust gasket on about earlier on for that Quantum, how much do you think it'll have cost you to buy if you wanted one over there?
$3 tops.
Yeah, and it's nearly $5 or yeah.
Yeah, that's well. You think 3 to 5 doesn't sound like much, but that's 40%, or whatever the percentage is.
Yeah, whatever it is, but yeah. But
Yeah, that's huge when you're building a
it's
whole
like
mower.
courses for courses, because it's like we were going on about other week. Eggs cost a fortune over here at the moment, don't they? But over here, I can get 36 eggs for $2.50, £3.
Yeah.
We're up there at your way, they're like 10, 11 bucks for.
It's about
dozen
$6 a dozen right now. I think they're coming down, but I'm not the grocery shopper. The
No.
only time I'm the grocery shopper is when she can't find a good deal and she makes me go looking.
But no, but like I said, I do envy you. I've always said I'd like to go to America for two things. One, to try fast food not fast food, but like steak restaurants and stuff like that. And other one, to buy some tools to bring back.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you know, I was in Grenada a few weeks back, down in the Caribbean over towards Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we went to buy a battery. And I said to myself, okay, 2.7 to 1 conversion rate. When I'm looking at this horrifying amount of money for a battery, I say, one of our dollars in America is $2.7 there. But then I realized it's like, wait a minute, he's paying $535 for that battery, even at 2.7 to 1. That's a horrifying expensive battery.
But
he says, well, yeah, but we don't make batteries here, so we have to import everything. It's like, in America, we don't make batteries. They don't make them here either. We're importing them from someplace else.
yeah, but difference is you're importing them by fucking millions at a time.
Yes.
Or we're importing by 1,000 at a time, because I'll give you an example. 2 Makita 5 amp hour batteries in UK at this moment in time, because I searched for it this week. How much?
2 Makita batteries?
5 amp hour, 18 volt.
Now, if you buy the cheap Chinese ones, 25
No,
bucks each.
140
genuine batteries. £150. £150 at the moment.
Jesus.
For 2.
Now you're making me look.
Bloody hell.
Genuine batteries, and they were, and 3 years ago you could buy the same batteries for just over 100 quid.
Do you really want to know?
Go on, spoil me day.
If I buy the aftermarket one?
No,
Yeah.
genuine. Got to be a genuine Makita battery. I can get non-genuine over here, dirt cheap.
Yeah, that's $48 for 2 non-genuine.
Well, what is it for genuine ones?
$111.
Right. $111.
Wait. Let me make sure I'm matching up the right thing. Okay, these are the 18 volts.
Yeah.
That's the right one?
5 amp hour.
5 amp hour is 111. The 1.5 amp hour is 75. And the little skinny one's
11
73.
for 2, which is about what, 90 quid. So over there, they're nearly half price of what they're going to be over here.
1.63. Yeah. Well, last time I looked, which is a few days ago, it was 1.63 was our exchange rate.
So
I had to look when I was buying donuts. Because I
But
realized,
now,
believe me, that was like $45 worth of donuts, and it was like, holy cow.
$45 of free donuts.
Yeah, well, as it turns out, they were zero.
What I think, because he's at Stone Donuts, you actually in theory aren't giving him. So I think you should send him a second set.
But now we should have another giveaway to give away another set. Now Tommy's asking how hard it is to find metric tools. It's just as easy as standard tools. It's the even the cars here, everything is gone metric mostly. So your standard tools are usually for the older equipment.
Quick question for you, Bill.
Yeah.
I knew there was something I got to ask you. You know, on Briggs and Stratton engines, whatever, classic 35 don't really matter.
Okay.
They're imperial. The bolts are imperial, aren't they?
Yes.
1/2 inch, 7/16.
Yes.
What are they? Are they coarse thread or are they fine thread? Do you know?
Well, it depends on the bolt. Like a head bolt would be coarse thread. Well, 90% of the bolts on the motor are coarse thread. I'd have to think about it to think of one that's fine thread.
It's all right. I needed some bolts the other day, and
they're probably
I'm going
to
order some. What?
They're probably like a head bolt or something like that. It's probably 24 threads an inch or less, which I wouldn't call fine thread.
Yeah, so the UNC, aren't they?
Yeah, they're standard.
Yeah, what your call standard, but standards already is metric, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we call them standard. Yeah, but I suppose that's a perspective. That goes back. Yeah. I was going to tell a bad joke there, but I'll let it ride.
No, you can do.
Oh, no, it's worse than that, though.
All right.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, life is all about perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's I've been unmarried, shall we say, more than once.
Yeah.
I've been divorced 3 times, and it's always the same story, because I'm a guy and guys do stupid things. And she married me because I cheated. In my perspective, my personal parts got fired because they had a part-time job. So it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was as G-rated as I could make that one.
Yeah.
What tools do you
that will not be advertiser friendly.
What tools do you usually use, Bill? What Mecca, you Milwaukee, DeWalt, what are you? Makita?
I got mine at Lowe's. Now for my power tools, you might think I'm a real Milwaukee person because I've got the Milwaukee battery operated Sawzall and the impact gun and the screw gun and all that. But I originally was using a Ryobi screw gun and I lost it and couldn't find it. Well, no, it was one of the little 6-volt ones. And I just used it around the house. And then when I needed something a little bit bigger, because I wanted to use it in the garage, I went and found the Milwaukee, and it was the only one I could find that had the smaller battery.
Yeah. Because
the bigger battery sticking out, I'm just not very coordinated sometimes. And I knew I'd tear things up with it. The smaller battery gives me more room to swing it. It does die sooner, but I've got a charger. I'm good with that. I got a couple extra batteries.
I've got a little 10.8 screw gun. Makita 1.3 amp hour batteries. But it's all right for just solely screwing, if you know what I mean. Like if you want to tighten an hinge up on a door or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew more bags in the UK were made out of plastic.
Yeah, Norge, keep in mind that you're talking about people who use a real mower and they drag things on the ground behind their mower on purpose.
Yeah.
So they work harder than we do on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. We use 17-inch mowers instead of 21s.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't want to be a yard guy there because I'd be dropping a 0-turn into the guy's yard. I'd start it up, I'd turn it off, and off I'd go to the next one.
Honestly.
Yeah, drop the blades and pick them up and put it back on the trailer.
Yeah, literally turn engine on, turn it off, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom's asking if the bit set I use is Hart. It is a Hart. And the reason I use the Hart bits, it's a Walmart brand, Hart. the reason I like that little bit box is it's only about $15 for the full box of bits, and the box holds the bits in place. So when I pick the box up and move it, I don't have bits falling out all over the place, and they're all in one spot. So I don't need 4 or 5 different bit boxes. Oh, there you go. Nord says the backing plate's fine thread.
Yeah.
So we knew there had to be something.
It were mainly, you know, recoil cover bolts that hold it on each corner. It were them what I were after. I managed to find one in my box of bolts, like an old one. But I knew they were 7/16s, I think they were. Or no, sorry, it's not 3/8s. They were 3/8s, but I didn't know whether they were fine or coarse thread. And I thought, well, I'll leave it. And I thought, when I see you, I'll mention it.
Yeah, 3/8 is kind of 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter is not kind of 3/8. You can throw a 3/8 wrench on a 10 millimeter, but you can't throw a 10 millimeter wrench on a 3/8.
Oh, you can.
With a hammer.
No. I've got some 10 mils that'll fit on 3/8 bolts.
Those are used 10 mils. They've loosened up a little bit.
Yeah, but they still fit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey,
I don't need an hammer on them.
In a minute, I need to let my dog out.
All right, Tim. But now, like I said, I used to be a mechanic, and I've worked on all sorts: ambulances, tanks, buses, cars, lorries, boats, jet skis. You name it, I've worked on it. So I've got a very vast amount of tools, and all I can say is, like you said, I've been doing it for years. So they are worn. Yes, some of them are worn, but they're all, a lot of them are snap-on.
Yeah, 7/16 plus a dime is a 10 millimeter.
It's like that. I went and I picked some cheap spanners up the other week, right? Just some generic spanners, metric, imperial. But you know what were in them? Some Whitworth.
Really?
Yeah, right. And when I was trained to mechanic, you know, if you haven't got right size spanner, get a Whitworth that and put a 1p piece in it, and that usually fills gap.
Yep.
I mean, it's a British size. It's always been a British size, but them spanners they're an oddball.
Yeah. Norge, I'll tell you, I have Milwaukee because the first thing I bought was in Milwaukee, and then I stayed with the plan because I didn't want to have multiple chargers. So I've only bought one set of batteries and one charger so far, and that came with the original screw gun. I think it was $149 for sale 10 years ago, or probably $119 because I always look for everything that's on clearance sale. But yeah, and when I bought the other tools, I just wanted to match up so I didn't have to buy more batteries because I'm cheap.
It's like that regarding impactors and drills. Or here, obviously, be same over there. A lot of it's now brushless. Well, what I did, I bought a lot of brush stuff, and I just repair it because it's cheaper repairing it than it is buying a brushless. Because again, I'm into electronics, as you know, and it's the controllers that go down, and the controllers cost more than drill.
Well, you lose brushes on a regular one, but yeah, on a brushless, you use a controller.
Yeah,
as long as you have a controller, you're good.
Yeah, but like you said, a set of brushes stands me at £1.50.
Yeah.
So if I've got to put a set of brushes in it every 2 years at £1.50, no brainer.
Tom, why don't you come up today? Here you go. Wait, I'll put it up one more time. I always have a lot of guys that I see all the time and are always watching the videos. You know, real good guys, and they never come up on the lives. And
it's only like when I come up on that first one, I just thought, well, it's not my thing, but
you say why not, right? And now it's your thing.
Well, no. But I thought if I'm in your shoes and I were doing video and nobody come up with me, it's like, not why am I doing this, but they're watching it, but you think, well, no, I'd want somebody to talk to me, so that's why I come up.
Yeah, on that very first one, I was sitting there talking to myself. I was talking to nobody. And then you came along, and then Paul came along, and then
Paul came along, didn't he?
And then Tim came along, and it's like, okay, now I've got some regular guys anyway, you know. And I always invite anybody that wants to come up can come up. As long as you've got pants on,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I keep everything as G rated as possible, so I don't even worry about kids.
So you're on about this go-kart. How are we going on with it? When's the next video out for it?
You know, I don't want to put out videos like I see. Hey Mac, I see a lot of people that do videos that are like 13-part videos, and the go-kart, I'm getting a little video here, and a little video there, and a little video there, and I don't want to
mowers and boats.
I don't want to. I want to put out 1 half-hour video that gets a little bit of welding, a little bit of bolting, a little bit more welding, a little bit of screwing holes in things, a little bit of getting the motors on, a little bit of getting the chain on, a little bit of trying not to get myself killed going down the street.
Yeah. I think you're better off making, like you say, I don't know, say,
yeah,
3
it's like
10 minutes,
yeah,
3 10 minutes videos than 1 half-hour video.
No, you're not up, Tom. I don't see you in the basement.
No.
You got, if you click on the link, it'll drop you into the basement here.
Yeah.
And then you turn on your camera and your microphone, and then I just click you up. You got Lewis Mowers and Boats. Yeah, that's a new one I just subscribed to
What were you,
the other day.
What were you saying, Tim, about subscribers?
Yeah. I had 321. I've got 321 subscribers now.
And you had 319 this morning?
Yeah, I had 319. I picked up two in the last. Mac 210's just subscribed to me.
Give me 1 second. That's the boss. That's the wife.
Have you done any more with that McCulloch you were doing, Tim?
No, I need to go and get more sandpaper. I need to try and get it finished, sanding it down, and then once I've got the deck sorted, I need to get I'm going to get that red oxide and get that all red oxide, and then red oxide it, rust proof it, and then put black hammer on top of that so it'll look even. So it's got double protection.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you when I'm doing it at the moment. I'll show you what it started out at. Let me go. This, can you see that? Where am I?
Yeah. Hang on. Let me
started out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again. How it is at the moment.
Do it again, Adam.
Wait a minute. That's how it were to start with.
Right.
And this is the stage we're at with now. Painted.
Oh, right. That looks wicked. Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Looks like a different mower.
Yeah, it does.
So that's where I am with that one. But that's had to have some bits of welding done on it. Because it went through. I've got that done. I borrowed a welder off my mate and got that done, and then repainted it top and bottom.
Well,
yeah.
But like I said, I'm waiting on this exhaust gasket that's meant to be coming Wednesday.
Tim, I'm throwing your link up there.
Not a problem. Cheers, Bill.
Well, you had somebody request it, and we're encouraging today. We're encouraging subscribers, so let's encourage them. You might get.
How long have you been doing videos, Tim?
I started putting videos up in 2020. 2020.
Yeah, it's hard to say what channel's going to go and what's not going to go.
Oh yeah.
But I've been on YouTube since 2018. So the 5th of December this year, I'll have been on YouTube 5 years. But
what you're doing now on that same channel?
Well, I never had a channel, but I had a channel. I had a channel, but without a name. But because I've been watching a lot of people.
That's
on
like
YouTube.
me because I watch a lot of videos and I don't put no content out. I don't put a name up or out like that. I just come onto channels and watch them. But if I ever did
Gary says he's always listening. Where's he at?
Yeah.
It's for the good info. Sometimes it's good info. Sometimes we're just having fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, it's that's why I don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just foolishness like that.
You know what I find I do find good. You know when you're doing something, it doesn't matter what you're doing, like say a carb or something, and then somebody like yourself, either in you, put a video up on exactly the same thing you're doing at the same time. You think, oh, yeah. I'll watch this video.
Yeah.
It's
Hi Barry,
yeah.
you won't.
Let me check. Let me make sure I did the right link. Oh, I'm guilty.
It will open in another window.
There you go. That's a better link for you. Try that one, Tom. That was my bad because I copied it out of the wrong window.
Have you started cutting then?
That's what happens when you click too many things at once.
When you started,
I was supposed to start on Friday, but the weather's it's been raining on and off here again today, so I need to check what the weather's going to be like in the next couple of days because I really need to get out and start getting the grass cut. Yeah.
Hey Tom, how you doing?
Hey Tom.
All right, Tom.
Can you hear us, Tom?
I'm guessing he can't.
Testing.
You got us on mute.
1, 2, 3. I don't know if he's got his headphones on.
He's got his headset on.
Hi, Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
Hey, Lewis.
How you doing, fellas?
Welcome.
What do we know?
I don't think Tom can hear us right now.
Very good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. We can hear you good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his microphone off.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can turn Tom's microphone on. Nope, he chose to mute himself. Hey, Tom, if you can hear me, your microphone is muted.
And if you can't, it's no use at all.
He's just the pretty face. He's coming to visit us. He's bringing the glamour to the group.
Yeah.
So, Lewis.
So what you up to, Lewis?
Well, it's starting to snow outside today, so that's good for business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing snow removal?
Oh no, I work on small engines, so, you know.
Yeah,
I work on the snow blowers.
Whereabouts are you from, Lewis?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit.
Well, actually, it's about 3 hours from Detroit, but nobody knows the small town of Hale, Michigan, where I'm at. So.
No, don't. You're right.
Yeah. Where's everybody from?
I'm from UK.
I'm in from UK, but I'm in Scotland. UK.
Scotland, foreigner.
Very cool.
We'll be when we chop that top part of map off when they get independence.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here, guys.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I put that up on the screen so Tom can see that. I know he's trying. He's working on it. He just took the headphones off. He's working it out. No hurry, Tom. No hurry.
What you had on this week?
Get in yet?
Say again?
Did Wayne get in yet?
Wayne was in a little while ago.
Yeah, I'm a little late.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
He's been in. He got somebody picking a snowblower up, something.
Yeah, I had a couple of people come by and I'll drop off some stuff. So you know how that is.
Now I don't know if Tom's been on a live before, so I'm going to hang around till he gets that mic worked out, even if it's 6 o'clock.
There you go.
How about that?
There you go. Hey Tom, how you doing?
Hey Tom.
I'm doing all right. I ditched
this is dead.
Ditched the headpiece and just went to the computer audio. So we'll see if the dogs all freak out.
Now you're not echoing, and usually you echo when you do that, but you sound good.
Well, thank you.
So, yeah, I don't know if you could hear us talking. We were saying you're bringing the glamour to the whole group. So what you working on, Tom? Anything fun?
Well, I've been down the basement working on some cabinets so I can have some storage down there to be able to work on some other projects, clean out the garage a little bit.
I was staring at my cabinets just this morning and actually running a measuring tape around and thinking, if I put 3-foot-6 shelf plastic ones up here and take these wooden ones down, I'd have more shelves. And you know how that goes. And then I start measuring and say, okay, I've only got 7 feet to work with, and they're 3 feet long. And I'd need 3 of them to have more shelves than I've got now.
Yeah, I've got to get my garage and basement in a little bit better shape.
Anybody that's seen mine knows every tool's in its spot. Everything's got a spot, and everything's in its spot all the time.
Yeah, I'm headed to the garage right now, and I see Bruce's, and I'm like, I need mine more like that. I get more done.
Yeah, Bruce has got his own little system that works pretty good.
That's a little better. Sorry, guys, I'm going to the garage right now. I just got kicked out of the house.
That's okay. You can show off all your neat tools and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I've got? That we haven't touched yet, and I meant to touch it last week, and then I didn't touch it.
I bet I know. Guess the tool. See?
Now I've got a couple of them. I've got a couple of them here, and one of them. We'll start out deep where it's a little pixelated, but it's just fun. Well, you might, if you guess this one right off the bat, then we'll go over to the other one. Mm-hmm. I saw this, and I saw it, and I thought, this is just too cool. It's just worth seeing. This is the very front of it right here.
What we're looking at? This silver bit or green bit?
The whole thing.
It looks like a mower.
Yeah, it looks like the first zero turn.
It kind of sort of is the first zero turn. I saw it, and even though I knew it would be easy, I saw that, and it's a whippoorwill or something along those lines. And I saw it, and I said, holy crap, that is just a fun-looking mower.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And note how they mounted the handlebar for stability.
Yeah,
that's not an adjustment or anything. They just did that so that they could have a single mount down here.
Yeah.
Is it a prototype of Conker's mobility scooter?
Three-wheeler, yeah.
One of the first ones.
It's a prototype of his three-wheeler. Oh, and now we're giving the other ones away.
Go on.
So I'm going to duck that down. I'm ducking stuff down.
Yeah.
Let me set the other one up because that one was just it was too cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I'd never seen a mower like that.
I like the patina on it too,
Yeah, that was obviously original.
Yeah.
They won't just reach UK them mowers. I'll be on which times we are.
Okay, this one we're gonna start out zoomed in again, but I think I probably already gave the whole thing away. And we'll ease our way out till somebody picks it. Now, this is specifically a lawnmower tool.
That's a spring compressor.
Valve spring compressor, that's what I'd say.
Okay, I don't want to play with you guys anymore.
Too easy, that one.
I think is that a 19063 Briggs?
Yeah,
It looked like a Briggs one, yeah.
Tool. Yeah, you can order that. It's part number. Yeah, and Mac is just down there humming along. He's getting everything.
What do you use for balancing blades?
I know that. See, now, I'd never seen a three-wheel lawnmower before that one.
I had a three-wheel lawnmower, but that's because the fourth one fell off.
Yeah, I bought a few three-wheel. Actually, I bought a zero-wheel lawnmower once. It was a Honda, a brand new Honda, a showroom model.
Yeah.
And they bashed the valve cover in, which wrecked the compression. I've got a video on it someplace. but it left the valves open because they banged the valve cover, moving it around the showroom. And they sold it as is, but they took the parts off they wanted, which included the wheels.
Yeah.
So I bought it for $5. $5 for a brand new, never had gas in it Honda with a dented valve cover and no wheels. I sold that thing for $300 2 days later.
Wow.
Now I did spend $60 on a valve cover and wheels, $70, whatever it was, but it was the girl sold it to me for $5. She says it's got no compression, it's got no wheels, sitting in her backyard in the dirt. She says, yeah, it's been there for 2 months, and I was going to throw it away. And I said, what do you want for it? She says, well, just give me $5. You're still going to buy that weed eater, right? And I said, yeah. She says, give me $5. You can have that too.
Crazy.
And the weed eater I made $10 on, and the mower I made $200 on.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, it's rare to make
amazing
anything.
how vulnerable those Hondas are to that valve cover being pushed in just a little bit. If it rolls up and hits like a split rail fence or rolls around in the back of the pickup truck. I got one of those from somebody for $20 because they couldn't figure it out. And it took me a long time to figure it out. And finally, Steve's Small Engine Saloon had a thing on that valve cover. And 5 minutes later, I had the thing working.
Well, it's when I bought it, I grabbed the handle, pulled the cord, and the motor went wee. And I said, that's a little low on compression. And in my mind, I thought, okay, one of two things. There's no piston in there, which I swear I hear of something that sounds like a piston. Either there's no piston in this engine because it was obviously a demo model, or the valves are open. Yeah. And I looked at it and thought about it and thought, well, it's got no wheels. And for $5, the little nuts holding the handle on are worth $5. And when I got it home, it was funny. I took the valve cover off and I knew what it was because when I was taking the last bolt off I used the screw gun. So I went zing, zing, and took the screws all the way out one at a time. When I took the last one out, the valve cover came hopping out fast. Yeah. And I stopped and thought about it and checked the oil and left the valve cover off and pulled the cord. And it started. First pull.
Yeah.
What do you use to balance blades, Bill? Or don't you?
I don't balance blades. Nah, I'll just buy a new blade.
But it's all right. But when we go, like we were about earlier on, there, it's half price of all here.
If I were paying more for my blades, it'd be a different story.
Correct. Yeah. If you pay double price of what you're paying for them, you'd think twice about changing them.
Yeah, but I don't balance blades and I don't sharpen blades on screen. No. And the reason I don't do it is because I try to make the channel homeowner friendly as much as I can.
You said.
Yeah. Or the small lawn service, or just guys that aren't really, engine mechanics. I try to make it friendly for them. Which is like I'll have guys say, well, why do you replace the two-stroke carburetors all the time? And I'll say, I'll tell you why. Because, the general manager for a shopping center does not know won't understand the needle. He won't understand the float in a two-stroke motor. He can understand it in a four-stroke. A bull carburetor is easy to understand. The two-strokes, it's a lot touchier. And I don't want to have to explain the umpteen different metering diaphragms and what the little flapper gasket does and all that. It's because they don't care. If I can give them a $15 answer to their problem, that's the one I'm going to give them every time. Yeah.
But going back to carbs, you were saying you always replace them. The way I always replace gaskets in them, never had no trouble with them.
Yeah, is that you, Tim?
No, sorry. I'll turn it down.
Yeah, don't get me in trouble here. Yeah, my very first live I ever did got demonetized because somebody played, of all things, a Bee Gees song. I thought, really? It's bad enough you get demonetized, but you get demonetized with the Bee Gees? Come on now.
You balance blades then, Lewis?
No. Just buy them.
What, you just buy them?
Yep.
Now, I encourage guys to buy blades all the time.
What's average price then for a 21-inch blade like you were on about earlier, Bill? Because obviously you don't do it as small as what we do in sizes.
You might pay a tops $15 or $18.
Yeah.
Depends on the blades. Tops. Absolutely tops if you're getting a good blade.
Yeah.
15
You
or
just
18
throw
bucks.
it into the, I mean,
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just
Now, you know what I do with my old blades? I put them in a pile because I'm still a first year welder. I put them in a pile and I make things out of them.
no.
you know what you'd be better doing? Getting a job lot, stick it on eBay, and somebody in UK will grind them up.
Now imagine it cost me $40 to get Tim Donuts. Imagine what it would cost to send a whole gross of lawnmower blades over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cheaper to buy a boat and take them myself.
No.
Well, you could do your effort journey.
Hey, speaking of that, now I should have done this when we had 15 people in here, but my wife has told me to go away next week and to go pick where I go.
Right.
She says, you need time off. She says, go someplace, go have fun.
No.
So I'm trying to plan a road trip. I don't know where the road trip's going to go yet. And I actually thought about flying to the UK and spending, 3 days there. But I just hate the idea of 9 hours on an airplane and 9 hours back. So I said, one of those 3 days will just be me sitting in the plane going,
I tell you what you're gonna do. Go to mix out. So when you open shed in the morning to come in, you sat there.
yeah, that'd be funny. Well, I did the one video where I green screened into his shop.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
yeah, and I've got one.
It's my shed, isn't it?
Huh?
So it is my shed.
Yeah. Well, no, I got his permission. I wouldn't do it without permission, of course, And then he walked away and he had his dog run across the yard. And I've still got that one in the bank. And I'm going to use it I'm going to green screen another video and use that for the background on that one. I just haven't figured out what to do because it'll have to be a standing up. And how often do you work on lawn equipment standing up in the middle of your yard? I might stand out there to start a mower, but the problem I've got is the green screen has to be on the ground, so it comes down and it's 12 feet long. It'll go down to the ceiling and come to the ground and come out. So I could start a mower on it, but what I worry about is sucking my green screen into the mower.
Well,
So I might take a blade off a mower or something like that, just for the green screen effect of starting it on his. Did you know quantum motors, any mower with a quantum motor on it does not like to start without a blade?
Mm-hmm.
Take the blade off and try it.
Don't do it.
They won't start.
No.
They count on the momentum of the blade to carry it. Unless you pull it violently fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Or use a drill.
I'm 5'10", 170 pounds. I don't have violence in me. There's not much to me.
No.
So, Lewis, what are you working on this week?
Snowmobile.
So where are you
snow
at?
machine. Snowmobile.
So you're in what, Illinois?
No, Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh, that's right. You said that earlier, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah, I picked it up for $250. I made 2 videos on it already. Yep.
Yeah, I just got subscribed over the last couple of days.
I seen that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if my subscriptions are public or not.
Yeah, I seen it. Yep.
Where in Michigan are you?
Up northern Michigan. So it's
Okay.
It's called Hale, Michigan.
Okay, I'm in Flint.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. That's cool. I didn't know you were in Flint, Tom. That's awesome.
You could road trip over to Tom's house.
Yeah, so you know where up north is.
Yeah,
You're halfway here.
I am.
Yeah. I'm from Southgate originally.
Okay.
Yep.
I grew up in Cincinnati, but I'm up here in Flint now.
Yeah, I grew up in the southwest side of Detroit, but then when I had kids, I said none of that, So then my family owned a diesel radiator shop for 20 years in Wyandotte, Michigan.
Okay.
And I ran that until we sold it in 2012. And then I moved to Florida, and my kids didn't like Florida. So
Yeah, I was raised in Fort Lauderdale. I loved it.
yeah, I was in Fort Myers for a while. I bought a Pet Supplies Plus there, and the franchise thing didn't work out for us, so we're back.
Now, Now, Michael Roberts is asking a question about getting a sheared bolt out of a head. One of the best tricks I've ever found. I've had that, where you break, you break a bolt off, break the head off on, say, a head. If you take all the other bolts off and you can remove the head, so you've still got the stud sitting there, 99% of the time, you could just put pliers on it and unscrew it.
Mm-hmm.
Just take the rest of the bolts off so you got the stud sticking out, because you sheared the bolt because the head of the bolt is holding the threads tight. And when you remove the head of the bolt, the threads are no longer tight. You might tap it lightly. Don't hit it like you mean it. Tap it lightly with a hammer to settle the threads back in. And when I say lightly, I mean you could do it with a soda bottle and not break the glass bottle. That lightly, super light. And you can. I had an EGR valve on my Town and Country van. Had 2 bolts in it. One of them was completely stripped, and could not for the life of me get that strip bolt off because it was an awkward angle. So I took the other bolt off and took my grinder and cut the head off of it, and then it came right out. I mean, I literally reached in with my fingers and unscrewed it after that.
That's the way you do it. It's techniques like that will save a lot of money,
Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah, he's saying, wait, read the question. So, I'm trying to find the question. It all scrolled on me.
Mm-hmm.
When they're flush. Yeah, okay, yeah. If it's flush and you've already removed the part that's attached to it, that's a whole new ball game. If you get lucky,
flush, yeah.
Yeah, if you get lucky, you can take a center punch and tap it down and it'll come loose, and then literally use a grinder to cut it, Phillips screw in it.
You're lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lethal.
when they're
From
flush,
now on, you are not commonly known as Larry. Lethal Larry. No, I can tell you don't do engineering for a living. Fucking hell, I had a hot flush all of a sudden then, Bill.
Well,
No.
I was a computer programmer all my life.
Drill it, stud extractor, or weld a bolt to it.
Yeah, well, I always try to think. Yeah, and I'm very guilty of this sometimes. I always try to think lowest level tools, even though, you see my shop, I've got every tool known to man. I try not to use those tools whenever I can on a video. It's like, my first thought that comes to mind is drill out the head of a bolt and weld another bolt to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a flux welder, that's not so easy.
Yeah.
No, drill.
Or you can take
bottom with center punch, drill it, and get a stud extractor.
Yeah, because you can
Some
take
decent ones, otherwise you end up with snapping them in there if you buy cheap ones.
But smacking it down with the center punch will loosen it up, and then getting it out's not that bad usually. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Knock it around. Yeah, like go tink, 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 tink in a circle.
Yeah.
And then you get a thread and you can grab it to pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about left-hand drills. Yeah, you can get the extractor is a left-hand drill bit.
Yeah, that extractor. Yeah. I used that a couple of times in a pinch, but I don't like using them because I can't drill straight for some reason. Just
yeah, I've got that disease too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to use.
What I've seen before, which you won't see many people do, is center punch, center bolt, drill it, tap it with a small size bolt like an M6, yeah, and then tighten it up so it locks up, but put a nut on. So you lock it up, it moves bolt in its normal direction to break it, and then put locking nut down and unwind it. I've seen that being done a couple of times. That was taught to me off a old school mechanic years and years ago.
Yeah, the last one I had
been done a couple of times.
Last one I had that was stuck and the head was off of it. It had about yay much sticking up, and I just literally took the grinder and cross cut it, and then put a Phillips screwdriver in it.
Or other option is, if you've got money, you know what you're doing, drill it out, helicoil it, and you're not to worry about completely.
Yeah.
So Barry says he lived in Fort Myers and the Naples area for 20 years. Now, when I was a teenager in Fort Lauderdale, It's if you were the true romantic like I was when I was a teenager, you take your girlfriend to Naples, which is a 90-mile ride.
Yeah.
This is funny. Living in
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale, we get that beautiful sunrise every morning, but we take our girlfriends to Naples to go watch the sunset.
Yeah,
Anyways, you know,
I lived 10 minutes from Fort Myers Beach for a while there.
yeah. Well, the sunrise is inconvenient because it happens before I'm awake usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So, Tom, you're being quiet. What's your project this week?
Mhm.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have that McLean that I paid $15 at an auction for.
Whoa.
Ugh.
I've got it
Ugh.
running, but the air blade on it is plastic and it cracked. So the thing was trying to run at
Oh.
Wide open.
Yeah. But I found one on eBay for like $10. So that should be here sometime this week.
Is that a mower, Tom?
It's a McLean Edger.
Edger.
Yeah, this is. Here you go, Tom. You'll love this one. A McLean Industrial Plus.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an edger.
That is.
Yeah, I picked that one up, and it's funny because I hadn't seen a McLean for 6 months, and I picked that one up. Then I got the yellow one that I did the video on. Where's it at? That's the yellow one.
Mm.
And then I got this little beauty. Somebody decided it was a race car, so they painted it red. And believe it or not,
Yeah.
they all run like a champ now.
The McLean I have is the motor manufacturer date is in 1979. So it has points, but when I went to test it, it had beautiful spark on it.
Well, I
So
figured it
didn't-
was one of the older ones when you originally said that it had the blade,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for the choke.
Yeah. Well, it's the governor, the
The air vane.
blade.
Yeah, the air
vane.
blade.
Yeah.
And but even I think the newer ones, well, trying to think, like the motor you were showing on that's a later, does that have a air vane governor or a mechanical governor?
You know, I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure it's an air vane governor. Now, don't make a liar out of me because I'm not 100% sure. Like that one. Yeah, and that's the same as that. It's the same one. It's just this one is this one is actually older. That's a 1998, believe it or not.
Bloody hell.
And I got it in that condition. This one,
Right. That's the one you said had been in the storage for
that one sat in a storage unit for 19 years.
Wow.
Bloody hell. Wow.
I checked it. If you look at the little bolt that holds the blade on,
Yeah.
I checked the 1998, the owner's manual that comes with it. That's the original blade, and the nut doesn't have any marks on it from a wrench.
Okay.
Bloody hell.
So it basically 100% stock everything.
Has that been sold, Bill?
It hadn't been sold yet.
No.
That one has the square air filter box that uses the same filter that the Quantum uses.
Yes. Yeah, the Quantum and the Honda uses that same filter too.
The air filter on mine was one of the
round
sponge
ones.
ones that when you touch the sponge material, it just disintegrates.
Yeah, you could get a fingerprint off the sponge after you're done. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, I think it's made from old Twinkies.
yeah. I look for McLean's, and I always end up with the 70s McLean's with the round air cleaner. And I'll tell you what, the carburetor, you know, if you get one with the round air cleaner, no matter how bad it is, rebuild the carburetor. You get one of these with the square air cleaner, and you can get an aftermarket carb pretty cheap. With the round air cleaner, those aftermarket carbs are almost $100. And that's for an aftermarket, not a Briggs. for a Briggs, it's just you just can't. It's too expensive. Well, guys, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes now. I don't know why, but we never stop at 4. It always gets interesting at 4.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you.
Yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you as well because I'm off.
Yep. And guys, remember,
nice to
go
see you, Tom.
subscribe.
Nice to see you, Lewis.
Go have a subscribe party. Go push that button all over the place.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
It doesn't
And you,
cost a
Adam.
penny
See you
to
later.
subscribe. That's what I always say in the
See you later.
videos.
For sure.
See you later, Bill.
So
And
I'll see y'all
you
later.
next Sunday.
Hey, Mac.
Bye bye, guys.
Hey, Mac, I want to see you up next Sunday. I want to see you. Tom came up, and Tom always says he never wants to come up. What was he? What was, yeah. And I tell everybody, the classical joke. I've got a face for radio, but I come up.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right. Catch you later, gents.
I'll see y'all later.
Bye bye.
See you later.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right. All right. Thanks.
Bye.